Hey everyone, Samsung just launched their most high-end flagship of the year, the Galaxy Note20 Ultra. This phone is packed full of amazing specs, a huge display, an amazing chipset, and of course, the stylus. That said, in this day and age, it takes a lot for a flagship to be competitive, so what exactly are you getting with this phone? I'm Angie for GS Marina, and this is our hot take of the Galaxy Note20 Ultra. This year, Samsung has gone for a classy and muted look. Unlike the vibrant smudge magnet of last year, this year the Note 20 Plus has a more reserved matte finish in the back, and you can choose from Mystic Black, Mystic White, and Mystic Bronze. The bezels are thinner than ever, and even the centered hole punch seems to be smaller than last year. The overall design is boxy and has the extremely recognizable sharp edges of the Note line. Like in the past, the Note has IP68 rated water and dust protection, but you'll also find something new keeping the phone safe. Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and back. I'm curious to see some drop tests so we can learn how much abuse this new generation can really take. The Note 20 Plus has a massive 6.9-inch screen. It's the same dynamic AMOLED as on the S20 Ultra. It supports HDR10 Plus, and you can choose between a 120Hz refresh rate with a full HD resolution or a 60Hz refresh rate and a QHD Plus resolution. Unfortunately, the fingerprint reader is the same as before, and considering this was one feature that we really did not love, it's a bit disappointing that it stayed on for this generation too. The S Pen is now on the left side, so the power button is back on its usual location on the right, leaving the Note 10 as a one-off experiment. Since the Note line stylus is one of its biggest draws, it's no surprise that Samsung has added some improvements here too. For one, there's a significant latency improvement, which means that writing and drawing will feel more natural. There are also 5 new Air actions, including Move Backward, Go Home, Recent Apps, Smart Selects, and Screen Capture. They're all available throughout the interface with just a flick of the wrist. That said, this year Samsung has really focused on improving not only the stylus itself, but also the main way that you use it. In other words, Samsung Notes is way better. Notes will automatically sync with Outlook and OneNote, you can sync voice notes with scribbling, and even the handwriting recognition is much better than before. The phone should be able to read even the sloppiest of handwriting, which is great for me. This year the phone has a 4,500 mAh battery, and we're hoping that battery life will be alright, considering it has the same chipset and screen as the S20 Ultra, but a smaller battery. Charging tops at 25 watts, which seems like a downgrade, but Samsung promises that you'll get from 0 to 50% in less than half an hour. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra will use the Snapdragon 865 Plus chipset if you're in the US, and the Exynos 990 if you're buying it anywhere else. The base storage and RAM are still generous, and the higher tiers go up to 12GB of RAM and 512GB of storage. You also still have the microSD card slot. The Note 20 Ultra will feature a camera setup that reminds us a lot of the S20 Ultra. There's a main 108-megapixel camera with OIS and an f1.8 aperture, a new 12-megapixel periscope telephoto with OIS and an f3.0 aperture that has 5 times optical zoom, and up to 50 times digital space zoom, and last but not least, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera with an f2.2 aperture. There is no word on dual-pixel autofocus on the 108-megapixel camera, so we're keeping our fingers crossed that this camera will fare better than the S20 Ultras, as it's now aided by a laser autofocus system. You won't find a time-of-flight camera here, but the periscope zoom camera might be an improvement on the one that the S20 Ultra used. Video capture in particular sounds really promising because the phone has a new Pro Video mode. You'll be able to tweak focus, audio, exposure, zoom speed control, and there's even 120 frames per second video at Full HD. It'll be interesting to see what this means for creators, especially those that don't want to buy both a phone and a camera. The Note 20 Ultra will be available starting August 21st. It'll launch at a price that's higher than the Note 10 Plus from last year, but lower than the Galaxy S20 Ultra. In comparison to the Note 10 Plus, there are significant upgrades, but if you're comparing it to the Galaxy S20 Ultra, the differences aren't as stark. That said, we've only just scratched the surface of what this phone can do, so we're really looking forward to testing it out. If you have any questions about the Note 20 Ultra, leave them down in the comments below, and we'll try to get to them in the full review. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. one.